Hi, it's Amy Hayslett, your Phoenix West Valley Realtor. Today I have with me Louie with West Valley Air Conditioning and Heating. So Louie, you've helped many of my clients not only with maintenance on their current homes, but also with the inspection process when they're buying. What are some of the most common issues you see that come up during the inspection, on the inspection report?
Well, Amy, I would say probably the most common is going to be an inadequate temperature split. That would be your return air that's going through your air filter and then the temperature that comes out the supply vents into each and every room. I do tend to find that the inspector will sometimes note that you're low. In other words, what they're typically looking for is a temperature differential of 18 to 22 or 24 degrees, and they'll note that maybe it's in the 16 to 18 degree range, and that's when it is they call out for one of us, a licensed contractor, go out to determine what the problem is. Now, you'll also find that they'll also call out things such as maybe rust in a condensation pan. Issues like that, it's hard to determine whether or not there's actually any legitimate problem with it until we dig down a little deeper and we discover whether or not it was a singular problem that may have happened years prior that may have left just some staining on the condensation pan. But once again, those are issues it is that normally once we start to dig in, we'll find out. Another common thing that I've noticed that they've started calling out would be insulation missing around the units. If you have dogs that tend to be outside and maybe they chew on things, maybe you'll notice that the insulation is missing from your piping that extends from the house all the way into the unit itself. Those are three of the most common. And once again, each one of those would, on their report, they're always going to call for a licensed contractor to come out and address each and every one of the issue. At times you'll have some that are a little different. Maybe it'll show maybe some leaking, air leaks that are happening from a cabinet or so forth. Or maybe once in a while you'll have a furnace that won't start. But each and every individual problem usually tends to be relatively minor, and sometimes the solution is just really just being more thorough with the inspection itself. Sometimes there'll be issues that that aren't present, that maybe were more so the inspector just didn't get a good legitimate number based on the equipment he was using. So it's always a good idea to even consider having us come in, do the inspection alongside with the inspector, so that way we can either confer with him or we can tell him what our ongoing, what we're seeing at that point in time, so that way everybody's on the same page, and that way you don't have a nuisance service call that may end up resulting in having either yourself or whether it's the buyer or the seller come out and have a service call for no particular reason. But always good to have them done at the same time, and also as a buyer it gives you a little more insight as to the air conditioning unit besides just the inspector saying that the temperature differential is good. There could be some electrical components and so forth that could be in need of replacement. At that point you can mark it on your Bincher report as a possibility to negotiate out or in some way or another. But always a good idea to try and consider having air conditioning unit inspected at the same time.
Yeah, with the short time frame of 10 days for our inspection time frame, that's a really good idea, because what we're finding is a lot of the general inspections will call for further evaluation. And so it's a good idea to have the AC, HVAC guy in there either at the same time or just schedule them at the beginning, just like you do your general inspector. So really good points. Thank you. That's great information, Louie. If you'd like to hire Louie, I will give you the contact information in the text. And if you have any questions for me, you can always call, text, or email me. I'll include my information. You can also direct message me on Facebook. I look forward to helping you. Thank you. Stay cool out there. Bye-bye.